Hey, this is Paul coming at you from inside the Jeep. We're on our solo trip. Try to do a solo trip once a year. It basically allows me to get some sanity back into my life, get focused. My wife calls it my Call the Wild trip. And this week, or this trip, I am headed to the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming. Going to go explore Crazy Woman Canyon, that whole area, and see what we're going to see. And that's what this week's trip's going to be all about. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the Mountain Man Chronicles, where the spirit of adventure comes alive. I'm thrilled to have you join our journey into the great outdoors. I'm Paul Piazza. I'm your guide through the wilderness and the storyteller behind the Mountain Man Chronicles. I hope you share in our love and appreciation of what this great world has to offer. Here we live in three simple principles: live, learn, and explore. Live, immerse yourself in the thrill of the moment, whether it be overlanding, exploring unique ghost towns, or simply enjoying the serenity of nature. We believe in living life to its fullest. Learn, cultivate that childlike curiosity. Every adventure is an opportunity to learn and discover something new. From overlanding trips to mastering trail navigation, we're a constant journey of learning and growing. Explore. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Venture into the unknown. Our chronicles are a testament to the places we've been and the stories waiting to be untold. Join us as we explore the hidden trails to the pristine lakes and the mysterious places this great nation has to offer. And of course, what adventure would be successful without proper planning and the right gear? We'll be showcasing some of the tools of the trade along our journeys. I truly hope you enjoy our chronicles and the journey that my wife and I travel through during our overlanding adventures. Thanks for watching. Every overland journey starts with an agenda and a plan. But you truly need to learn to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. This trip was no exception. I tried to find 2 or 3 different camp spots. The first one into the bottom half of Wild Woman Canyon was blocked in one way, so I didn't really want to risk it. My second camp, which I'm going to now, is at the top of a canyon with dark clouds looming over, which would later turn into severe thunderstorms with like 60-mile-an-hour winds. So that led me to go find an alternative campground. That alternative turned out to be Outlaw Cave, which was just an incredible campground. We're going to start our journey here, but coming up to it, you're going to see here where I go up and I'm forced to turn around because I'm at the top of a canyon, don't know what it's like, there's no trees, and the thunder's going to roll. Part of every overland journey is just the adventure. Now imagine after having to turn around to venture on a spot in a map that I had placed somewhere sitting in front of a computer over 1,000 miles away, and just heading into nowhere, coming down this dirt road, kind of going into nowhere, but looking at the beauty of these red hills right next to the road, reminiscent of the Grand Canyon, and just enjoying the view. This road would actually turn out to be just a casual road, but it was just beautiful with animals everywhere. There's a couple of things I really love about Wyoming. First of all, is you could be out in the middle of nowhere, much like I was here, and then come on an oasis with a ranch and find something that you've never seen before. I'd be lying if I didn't say there was a part of me that would love to live out here in the middle of the plains, enjoy just the beautiful open skies. But the other half of me loves to sit in my comfortable chair and do stuff around my land. And I have to admit, I think my home in South Dakota is kind of giving me the best of both worlds. We have a mini ranch, which is hard work, but I still enjoy the civilization and having a desk job. Some sort. This hard living, but just look at the view. The rewards are worth it. No, go, little baby. There you go. Seeing critters on the side of the road is always cool, especially when they're out in the wild. And I saw a whole bunch of pronghorn out here, and they're always interesting to see, especially when they have little babies. Whenever I'm out overlanding alone, especially pulling the trailer, and I'm on a single track like this, my head's on a swivel, always wondering, because this was a pretty steep hill. So, backing down with a trailer on a steep hill is always a pain. So my head's always on a swivel looking for a place to potentially back up if I need to. Second thing is, can I back up? Is there a place that's going to have sanity? And later that'll play more significantly on this trip. But for now, I felt pretty clear because on both sides I felt I could back up. But I am truly journeying into the unknown, at least for me. Knowing that there's a camp spot ahead that I found on a trail. And we'll go see what it is, but that's where I'm going to camp for the night. I left this one part back in there. I do talk to myself a lot while I'm overlanding alone on my solo trips.
I have to come back here and camp right there.
Wyoming has so much BLM land and places to go explore, and that are free, like this campground at Outlaw Cave. Now, Outlaw Cave is on the middle fork of the Powder River, and it's in a recreation area out in remote country. Little did I know how far out. As I explored this area, as I come around this, it's just a beautiful camp spot. Somewhere nice to camp, nice to stay. It was really quiet. There was only a couple cars. You can camp literally right over the canyon. The canyon, as I mentioned earlier, is about 12 miles long. Has fish in it. The middle fork has blue ribbon trout in it, especially in this area. I wanted to bring my pole, but it was a heck of a hike down, so I didn't. It's no fee. There's 12 really rustic spots that are just awesome. There is no water, so you're out here basically on your own. But when you park and you look at the skies, look at this canyon, and look at places to explore, this area was well worth it, and just an epic camp spot. Great first night camp. I set up in no time with the Mission Overland trailer and made the most of just enjoying it and getting my head clear.
Hey, this is Paul. Hope everybody's doing well. This is literally taking lemons and creating lemonade. So as I mentioned earlier, a couple of our earlier tracks were a mess, and then I found this called Outlaw Cave on iOverlander and my Garmin. Both had them on there, which was awesome, and it is an epic campground. Coming in, as you could tell by the red cliffs that I showed earlier, was a lot like Grand Canyon, and then you get in here and you're literally, there are campsites along the canyon. One of the things I love about the Midwest versus California is this is a free camp spot. It is clean. There's no graffiti. It's just beautiful. I'm going to take some video of this camp spot. It is awesome. Probably one of my favorite camp spots that I've stayed in to date. So I hope you like it. I'm going to take some video. This is tonight, Camp 1. Like I said, my initial camp, I was going in, it took me, I routed myself the back way into a steep canyon, and it said you couldn't do it. So I turned around, tried Camp 2, took me up high. As I mentioned earlier, didn't want to be there, and I found this camp spot, which was mild wheeling getting in here. Nothing too tough. It was like, I don't know where I'm going type of wheeling, and then I got here, and it is just outstanding. I'm going to take some video of this place. Hope you like it. And if you look down there, you can see Outlaw Cave. I have it zoomed. I'll come back with my camera and take some pictures of it in a minute. But you can see it down in the brown down there. I'll try to zoom in on the video as well. Just an epic campground. I mean, this place is just freaking beautiful. And there's like one of us staying here. I think these people hiked the canyon, are driving out, and there's another car down on the end, but that was it. And I'm here on 4th of July weekend, and there is nobody here. Just awesome. We're going to take some of the video from today. Cut that out. You'll see here the camp spots. You can camp right on the edge if you want to and have an epic view. Taylor, I think that's made for you, not my thing. There's the Jeep and the trailer setup. We have camp tables, fire pits, enough to fit really 4 vehicles if you wanted to with 2 there. 4 to 6 vehicles here. I'm gonna see on our way to Kerwin, we may camp here and try it, because this is just a nice spot. This is a story of Outlaw Cave. Legend has it that Outlaw Cave was first used as a hiding place by Civil War deserters in the 1860s. Big Nose George Parrott, God, I love names, members of the Butch Cassidy Hole in the Wall gang, Frank and Jesse James, local rustlers, all used this cave as a hideout. It's got some history with this cave, I would say. Outlaw Cave Trail, the campground river is a pretty serious hike. Remember to take water, snacks, other provisions. Camping is only limited to 14 days. Also touch about the geology. It's the other thing I really love about this, is you can see the geology of, touch about the native plants, other geology stuff about it. You can go down the river and take a look at it all the way down there. Just seems like a treacherous hike to me. Has prickly pear here though. Yeah. Some kind of carcass here. Looks like an animal bone head. Looks like a deer. Interesting camp. Breakfast of Champions, egg bites, and the barista came to town to make some Uncle Phil coffee. Life doesn't get better than that. All right. Hey, this is Paul, day 2 of the Bighorn Mountains Explore. So what's interesting leaving camp today, as you'll see in these videos, we went through the what I call the mini Grand Canyon as we left Outlaw Camp. I wanted to head further into the Bighorn Mountains themselves. As I'm leaving, we ran across a pretty heavy thunderstorm, about a 3-hour thunderstorm. So I stayed in Buffalo, opted to wait to come here, and started down a really remote trail, which you'll see in this part of the video. Narrow, have the trailer with me, I'm solo, starting to get a little slick. I could feel the Jeep pitching, so I found a flat area to turn around. No shame in turning around if you're by yourself. The end of the trail said it was a Forest Service remote camp spot that was tent and RV friendly. I don't know about the RV part. It would have been tough to turn around, I think. If I was with somebody, probably would have done it, but since I'm solo, I chose not to. But I found an epic camp spot that is basically a parking area for the Forest Service for people who have UTVs and stuff. Nobody's using it, doesn't say can't camp here, so I'm going to take advantage of it because of the view. One of the best parts about heading out from a spot that you made it into, because coming in is always a little nerve-wracking. You don't know where you're going, you don't know where you've been, you just know that you're going to get somewhere. Coming out, you can actually enjoy the terrain. You know you've made it to the destination, you know you've dealt with the unknown. Now it's just time to enjoy the ride. And saw more elk, saw some more elk, I saw some more pronghorn, saw some baby pronghorn, and I just enjoyed this ride out. Hope you do as well.
The red rocks just amazed me in this area, and I will go back to this camp spot again. Once I found the road, I headed into Buffalo. The clouds got dark. I had thunder and lightning and big storms ahead. This is always just disconcerting, right? When you're out solo camping in the lands of nowhere and you have huge storms and just dark skies. I'm heading right into it. I knew I was going to be camping into it, and the next 2 days were going to be a muddy mess. Turned out true somewhat. The roads were slippery and slick, as you'll see in some of the areas ahead, but it wasn't as bad as it could be. I did find just a great camp spot, and one thing about the rain in the mountains like this, and I have some apps I use, the next thing you know, it was starting to clear up, and you'll see here I had some rain on my windshield, but by the time I got into camp, it was cool, it was crisp, and it just was calm. I did get more thunderstorms later in the day, but for the most part, once I got onto the trail, it was smooth and a little gooey, but fun. As I turned off the highway, I went up a little hill, and then I started some pretty rough trail out in the middle of nowhere. This doesn't look as rough on video, I have to admit, as it did when I was out there doing it solo with the trailer. Again, you have to remember when you're out there and you're exploring like this, my head's on a swivel looking for a place to turn around. I knew at the end of this dirt road somewhere there was a campground, somewhere in a canyon, and it did say it was tent, and I'll put in air quotes, RV related, because I don't think you're going to get your average RV up this trail. Again, it doesn't look that hard in this, but I did have it in 4 low. I did have the front sway bar disconnected, and I was slipping and sliding, pulling the trailer up it, but still going. I was pretty determined to see where this would take me. Unfortunately, I chickened out towards the end. It did turn around. I knew coming in I had passed an open spot, but I didn't realize that I ended up camping at this open spot with an epic view of a valley. Really quiet day. You could see the clouds here were just really nice, and this is where I camped. It turned out to be what they call a parking spot, but you can see this parking spot just had epic views. Was outstandingly beautiful, and this became my camp for the day. Later in the day, I did have some severe thunderstorms with 40-mile-an-hour winds, but I didn't care. I was solo camping. I was enjoying the wilderness. I was out in the middle of nowhere, and I had some time to think. Absolutely love how fast I can set up my trailer in Jeep. Literally 10 minutes my camp was set up, trailer was level, I was good to go. Had a cold drink in my hand. I had sat in my chair and I'm like, you know what, I'll take a video to share just what this is. Now I did have to park a little bit closer to the trail than I normally do. Usually I like to be far off the trail. I did have a family come in later with a pretty well set up rig. Derek and his grandchildren came out and explored. That actually turned out to be a great park. It reminded me of why I have the Mountain Chronicles. It's to enjoy the journey, learn and have childlike curiosity, and listening to his grandkids just explore and how they were teaching them just brought back a lot of pleasure. And the last part was embrace the adventure. With all the changes on this trip, I embraced it, I enjoyed it, I loved it. I had some things I was sorting out just in my head and just trying to get grounded again. The mountains and the trees definitely ground me. And being this far open and this far remote did serve its purpose for me. I didn't make it to Crazy Woman Canyon. I will next trip. The rain kind of inhibited that. But any journey where you can go and just enjoy the outdoors is well worth it. Clouds descending down the mountain over there. An interesting day. Started out raining, thunder, lightning. Now it's just a bunch of clouds. Supposed to thunder and lightning again tonight, and then rain tomorrow heading out. It's gonna be fun getting out of here, but worth it. Part of the adventure. John Lubbock said, "Fresh air is as good as the mind as it is for the body. Nature always seems to be trying to talk to us as if it had some great secret to tell. And so it has. The clouds, the mountains, the trees all speak to me. What it does is it takes the noise of the background of the city and the voices that I don't want to hear and helps me wipe them away and reset as if the weather has through these storms to the mountainside. I walk away from each of these solo trips typically with a very clear view of my mind and an understanding. Yes, I didn't meet the goals of my journey, but did I really miss them? Was it really something that I didn't get? No. I achieved everything I wanted to set out to achieve with this trip, and more. If I could do one thing, I'd recommend for all of you to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Set out on a journey, no matter what it is, and achieve it. Thanks for watching the Mountain Man Chronicles.